Let's see a show of hands. Have you ever struggled to find that perfect vacation watch? A watch that's tough, reliable, you can dive with it, and it even tells you the time back home. Well, this is it. Seiko has you covered, and I have all three colorways. Introducing the all-new Save the Ocean limited edition SPB385.
With its stunning icy blue texture dial and a contrasting ocean blue ceramic bezel insert. The stoplight seconds is baby blue and the GMT hand is a dark navy blue. And this colorway will be limited to 4,000 units. Now, I love what Seiko has done here.
They have refined the 1968, one of Seiko's holy trinity, and it borrows heavily from the Marine Master. I'm calling this one the MM200 GMT. So first and foremost, it's a professional diver, ISO rated Divers 200, but it has an additional complication. Think of it as a diver first. So this being a collar GMT is 100% okay in my books. Now, right off the bat, the first thing you notice is that all new, refined, and redesigned bezel. It's about half the thickness from the regular diver MM200. That lowers the center of gravity, and this watch already wore extremely comfortable. Now it sits even better. The teeth have changed to diamond cutouts, almost like an RX style, but how does it feel and how does it sound? So this one does have a different feel than your typical Seiko bezel. The DNA is still there. It's smooth, buttery with soft clicks, but it's a little bit less mushy and a tad more precise. I love it. It's addicting to spin this bezel and it feels great. So that shorter bezel adds to the refined looks, but also there's a high polish metal lip surrounding that sapphire, outlining that inner edge of the ceramic insert, giving the watch a more complete look. The sapphire has anti-reflective coating on the underside. It sticks out about 0.5 mil, and it's got a gorgeous tapering bevel all along the edges. Now the case, absolutely a work of art. The Marine Master style is just so iconic. Seiko through and through, arguably Seiko's best case. It's got laser sharp transitions from brushing to high polish, back to brushing, back to high polish, and on top of all that, it's even a cushion case. The bottom tapers aggressively inwards, so it sits nice and low on the wrist. Unfortunately, the crown is not signed, but the case and bracelet is completely coated with Seiko's proprietary super hard coating.
Now, speaking of that case, what's the dimension? I got 42 millimeters in diameter, secret measurement 31 millimeters. If you include that chrome lip surrounding that sapphire, it's 33 millimeters. We got a thickness of 12.9, so 0.4 millimeters thicker than the normal MM200 diver. We have drilled lugs and a lug-to-lug of 48.6. Fantastic dimensions. If you have ever worn a Rolex Submariner, the new 41mm, this thing wears very similar, but it sits flatter and more comfy on your wrist. The bracelet has trimmed down, the links are thinner, the brushing is smoother. We got a two-piece oyster style. I believe it's pins and collars, 20 millimeters tapering down to 18. Fully milled clasp, 4 micro adjust, twin button release, fold over, and of course, being a pro diver, it does have a dive extension. I have a few complaints. There's a lot of text on the dial. Automatic 3 days? Come on, Seiko. Let's clean that up. And the legibility on the 24-hour GMT scale isn't the greatest. It is two-tone for each colorway, so that's good, but it sits on top of the dial. It actually is attached to the dial, and that's right around where the bevel of the sapphire is, so sometimes it gets a little bit warped. So yes, it's a diver first, GMT second, but the GMT scale was just tough for me to read. And the date at 4:30, I don't like that for the GMT. I don't mind it so much for the diver, but for the diver GMT, I want the date at 3. Do you guys agree? Let me know. Let's check out the lume. Seiko Lumibrite is very powerful, but because they apply such a thin layer, I'm gonna just say it's just decent. And maybe even a little bit below average. But the initial burst is strong. So I wanna know from this brand new release, which color are you going for? Take note that the green and black look very similar. There was a couple times while filming, I picked up the green one thinking it was the 383, but it was the 381. So it's a very dark green. But if I had to choose just one, I would go with the 383. It's just tough to compete with a black, sleek diver. The black and green come in at a price of $1,500 USD, and you can get it down below at Kavar Jewelers. Email me to discuss it. But what about the limited? Maybe that's the one you want. Well, there's a premium. This one comes in at $1,700 USD, but you do get a little bit more for your money. You're getting a limited edition, an extra strap, it's the Saichu NATO, which many people love, and of course that beautiful textured dial. Now let's check out the new movement. We have the 6R54. It's a 21.6 VPH hack hand wind automatic collars GMT, and the big news, 72 hours of power reserve. 2 hours more than the 6R35. Now let's have a look at the rate. 4, 0, 0, and the fourth and final round, -1. Okay, let's check out that positional variance. This movement is powered by the Sprawn 510 mainspring. It's still rated at +25 -15 seconds a day, and it takes 55 turns of the crown to top it up. Now let's look at the rate. We got a big drop in amplitude, little bit of beat air, and now we have -6, -5, and the fourth and final round, -3. Okay, that's pretty good. But in the end, I love the refinement. The watch just feels more complete than the regular diver with all the finishing touches and the thinner bezel. But I want to hear your thoughts and opinions down below. And if you liked this video, then you will love the 2 videos on the right of your screen right now. And I'll see you in the next one.